It's crazy to me how you could be sitting next to somebody one day and they just be gone the next. And it could be over something simple.
You never know what could happen. You could be walking down the street and then boom.
Right now at 5:30, those impacted by youth gun violence speak out. And tonight, we are taking a closer look at this critical community issue. So far this year, 39 juveniles have been victims of gun violence.
In fact, this age group, under 18, accounts for roughly 20% of all shooting victims in Louisville. Just this week, a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old were killed, and 3 other children were shot. They were ages 8, 13, and 16. Now, you can see on this map the different neighborhoods impacted, but this is really a citywide issue.
And over the next several minutes, we're going to focus on why everyone needs to be informed and invested in our community safety by looking at city initiatives aimed at combating youth violence and possible solutions.
The topic of solutions is complicated, but experts do know early intervention and community involvement are key. We have resources for both youth in our community and those of you that want to get involved.
But first, we're going to hear from those in our community who are most impacted by this violence and often not heard, the kids themselves.
In a city where sirens may drown out silence, this garden in Shawnee offers something different for teenagers.
I'm checking for bugs right now. Besides that, though, we got cantaloupe right here.
Peace for Johnny, purpose for Nevaeh, a place to grow for Deontay.
The garden brings you light. I want everyone to know that. The garden will open you up.
But beyond these gates, reality hits harder.
Last week, I walked outside. I walked outside. I seen a shootout, but I don't know who was, none of that.
They're not just watching violence, they're surrounded by it. Just this week, on Tuesday, a friend from this very program was shot and killed riding his bike home.
When I thought about it, it very much scared me because I was outside the same night, so it easily could have been me or someone else close to me.
From gunshots to grief, it's becoming normalized.
You could go on Facebook or you could go on the news and just see somebody that you know or that you know somebody knows and they have died or has, been through something, so yeah.
They say what's missing is structure. They want guidance, not guilt.
Stop yelling at your kids and listen, because your kids are going through the same thing you're going through.
You are what brought them into the world, so they're going to want to learn from you to see how to move.
They want jobs, mentorships, and basic resources.
Finding ways to put food in our stomachs too, and really help us with shelter. One of my friends I just seen that graduated, he was working at McDonald's, whatever, lost his job, now he's homeless.
They say hope doesn't come from handouts, it comes from being heard.
We, as a community, as young youths, should want to do better, have something to look forward to, have something to grow in, and this is honestly the perfect program to do so.
And that's what this garden has become. Found one. A safe place, a reset, a chance to breathe.
My wisdom has been, evolved.
Now, they're asking others to get involved, not from the sidelines, but in the soil.
We in the garden getting the dirt with us, actually getting in the ground with us.
And in addition to speaking with the youth in their late teens, I spent the morning at a local youth empowerment event aimed at kids much younger. Those heading up the critical organizations in our community were speaking directly to children of all ages, but mainly children under the age of 13. The event was led by Teen Leadership Council and the Kids Art Academy. Organizers from local grassroots groups encourage kids to use their voices and stay involved. And during the panel discussion, I witnessed a powerful exchange. Speakers quizzed the kids, offering cash for correct answers, and the room lit up. One panelist stressed how money, or the lack thereof, is the root of many issues that young people face.
Money equals financial stability, mental stability, educational stability. Everything that our youth need ties back to money. And so in a space where we are seeing funding be cut, we are seeing an administration dismantling the few programs that actually help our kids and refurbishing the programs that don't. I think this is such a great moment to see the way that funding impacts the change that we're all working for.
And the keynote speaker, Nashawn Clay, she's a YouTuber for her hood vlogs. She shared why she highlights life in low-income communities without glorifying it. She goes to different neighborhoods across the United States, including many right here in Louisville. She says the kids that she talked to here just want opportunities.
They say jobs. Some of them be so young that they say that they wish that they can lower the age limit, but a lot of them just want jobs, honestly. Yeah, a lot of them say if we can get jobs and we can get money, most of us will stay out the way.
So there you have it. Many of these kids just want a voice and a safe way to make money. And that highlights the importance of local community programs like the one I showed you earlier called Sacred Earth Community Gardens. The kids there are paid to tend the garden, but unfortunately, the person who runs it told me that she ran out of funding just this week and can't pay them anymore. Rick and Jennifer.
Sad.
Yeah, excellent job, DeAndrea. Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg joins us now. First of all, what's your reaction? There's a lot to unpack here with what you just heard.
Well, there is. Well, the first thing, just what DeAndrea last said, is we need to find a way to help the funding continue for that great garden program. And so my team and I will be following up with them on Monday. It also brings home that gun violence doesn't just impact the individual who is being shot, that I learned from my own experience with being a victim of gun violence, that it wasn't just me who was impacted. It was my families, my friends, people who were in my social spheres, my neighborhood. And that's the same thing that's happening right here in our city. And so we need to continue to listen to our teens as we were in that story right there. And I think the good news is a lot of what they're talking about, we have programs and support for. We just need to make sure that they know of it, about them, that they take advantage of them and get the word out more. And if people feel like there's an impediment, we need to help them get over that. We need to help them find someone in their life that can help them with a new path and give them those opportunities that they were asking for there.
Get in the dirt with them, as they said. Now, Mayor, you mentioned your programs. You launched the Safe Louisville Violence Reduction Plan earlier this year, and we broke down the pillars for you. There are three key pillars of prevention. Intervention and enforcement are key, and your goal is to reduce all violent crime by 15% each year for the next 5 years. What impact are you seeing, and what would you like to see with regard to reducing youth violence specifically?
Well, Rick, first let's start with the progress that I'm incredibly proud of. We have exceeded that goal this year alone. This year, homicides and shooting are down over 30% this year alone. You look at assaults and carjackings and other crimes, all down this year. That is amazing momentum, great progress. But as this week showed, we can't celebrate that progress. We need to do more, we need to do it faster, and we need to keep going because people in our city continue to be shot even with this progress. So we're going to keep doing what we've been doing and adding more, and we're going to keep listening to teens like Johnny and the others that we heard in that previous segment. You know, it's still summertime.
Yeah.
And we've got some great programs. The Cultural Pass is out there. It gets you into all these great institutions and museums that we have. Libraries have great summer programs. We have the Summer Works Job Program. It's not too late to sign up and get some employment before you go back to school. I've talked to Dr. Yearwood, the new superintendent of JCPS this week, about how we can partner with him more. There's lots of opportunities. We need to make sure that our teens are taking advantage of that, that people, like we just saw in that story, that want to be part of the solution, we need to make sure that they have the tools necessary to encourage their friend group to all become part of the solution so that they're not grieving another person in their friend group losing life again.
Well, unfortunately, Louisville's not alone. We have Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and other cities that are seeing an uptick in youth violence. Indianapolis is considering a curfew for an age-related curfew. Is that something Louisville's willing to consider or maybe even entertaining now?
I am willing to consider any idea that is going to help reduce this and end this crisis. So whether it's that solution that we've seen in Indianapolis, we need to get our juvenile justice detention facility reopened here in Louisville, which the state is now working on, and I'm thankful for that, because we need to not only support the victims and help prevent it, but as you saw, it talked about enforcement, which is part of our Safe Louisville plan as well. We need to hold the perpetrators of these violent crimes accountable as well. And if they're juveniles, there still have to be consequences. And so we're doing all of that. I'd love to focus the most on prevention to prevent it from happening in the first place. But when it does, we need to respond.
And Mayor, we all know police often call for involvement of parents. That's been a key phrase here recently, of course. But we're not kidding anybody. Part of this is the kids that we're talking about, the ones that are at risk. they don't have a parent at home or someone to guide them. Can we talk more about the community and the role of like mentors that we have in the community to get involved with organizations to help in prevention?
I know a big part of the reason I am where I am today is because I had loving, great parents. I had a lot of good fortune. I had many other people in my life that helped support me and show me wonderful ways and expose me to many things, and not everyone is that fortunate. There are great programs in our community, though, that do that. You've got Big Brothers Big Sisters, you have Boys and Girls Club, you have YMCAs and other organizations, you have churches around town that are looking to do this. And so there are a lot of people that are there looking to provide that mentorship and support. If there are people, what I would say to all of the adults in our community that are listening, if there are young people that you think are in need of a mentor that their parents might not be doing that for them, is reach out either yourself, ask somebody at a church, heck, even call my office or send us an email, and we'll connect these teens with somebody. And if you're a teen and if you're looking for someone, send us an email. My email is easy to find on our website online. I see those. We'll find someone to support you. It's a rewarding for the adult that's helping, and I just know. And then also to parents, know where your kids are.
Yeah.
Enforce your own curfew on your kids. Don't let them be out at 3 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning when some of these crimes happen. Know where they are. It's much better to enforce that than to be on the receiving end of a call from a police officer who tells you that your child is no longer with us.
Well, I think it's important that we keep having these conversations so we can try to help fix the problem, because it's a problem that's not going to go away until we start trying to fix it.
Right.
So, Mayor, we really appreciate your time here. We know you're very busy. Thanks again.
Well, thanks for having me.
We're on board with
progress,
this.
and thanks
sure
for talking about
is.
this. We'll follow up with some of these things in the coming days, and really
Absolutely.
appreciate what you're doing. We are making progress, and we will make more.
Keep it going. All right. Thank you, Mayor. Now, as we said, there are so many local organizations doing very impactful work with youth in our community. Now, you can get involved yourself, or you can help these organizations financially.
And we've made it easy for you to connect to these organizations. Just go to our website or the mobile app to find this interactive graphic here that will take you directly to each organization. You can also find a list of free and low-cost city summer programs. And as much as we cover the violence impacting our community, we hope spending time discussing and talking about solutions and sharing avenues of community involvement can actually help.
So get on board with all of us. The city and our future depends on it.